All right, hi everyone. I had another brief video I wanted to share. I thought this was really cool. There's a really cool document on Netflix. It just came out, I think like about a week ago. Um, so it's called Infinity, and there's a bunch of mathematicians on there discussing like the nature of infinity. And I got kind of lost, to be honest. They were talking about all kinds of stuff, but it was really, really cool. And it had some really great analogies and explanation on thoughts on the nature of like infinity and exactly what that means. So one thing I've touched on one of my other videos was the infinite nature of space. So one eternal constant is space, and because if you think about it, space, like the concept of nothing, literally goes on forever. That's kind of the space-time continuum that they talk about in science, uh, if I'm not mistaken. So, because if you think about it, if there's nothing, there's just pure nothing in every direction, and it goes on forever. Because you can't really say that it stops at a certain point. Because if it does, what's it stopping up against? Or if it does, what is that boundary and what's on the other side of it? It can't be literally nothing because nothing is technically, something. So nothing as a concept literally begins with space. As far as eternity goes, it goes in every direction, and then within nothing, that is literally like all pervasive in every direction. Within that, concepts begin to form. Like density and heat and gravity and that sort of thing. But ultimately, at its most fundamental level, it is just pure nothing in every direction. And of course, without a beginning and an end in any direction, you can't really pinpoint the beginning of infinite space or the end of it. So that's what that space-time continuum is. So time and space are literally eternal, two eternal concepts, which is really cool, I think. And then in the video, I never thought about it this way until I watched the video, but it also works, of course, the other direction. So going smaller and smaller. They had an example in that video where, like, if you take the space between your hands and then cut it in half, and then cut it in half, cut it in half, you would literally, it would never stop going. Like you can't take like a number, a space, and then, of course, your hands would eventually touch, but like the concept itself, if you were to take the space like, half an inch and then cut that in half and then cut that in half, the number just infinitely gets smaller. You can cut it in half into infinity. So really, that same concept is not only expansive, but it also goes inward as well, which is, I don't know, I just thought that was really, really cool. And maybe kind of start, thinking about the nature of that and our role in it. And we are literally a part of it. So we evolved at a certain point. We have consciousness. Our souls are preserved and carried over into the afterlife, and we are immortal. So, so we not only is immortal or infinite time explainable, we are part of it. We are able to benefit from that because we are preserved and reawoke when we do eventually die and cross over. So it's just really cool that this idea of forever is literally in front of us at all times. Like you could take any amount of space in front of you and just cut it in half, and the number just keeps getting smaller and smaller, but it will never be zero. It just keeps going smaller and smaller, and you could do that forever. And then you could do that in the other direction too, of course. So it is within us, it is around us, and not only that, but extends in every direction as far as possible. The idea of infinity, starting with just space and time. So I thought that was really neat. It was just kind of a cool idea to share and like turn over and consider. And I thought I'd put that out there. So hopefully you found that interesting. I definitely did. So if you do like the video, of course, as always, I do welcome you to subscribe and thumbs up if you like it. And appreciate you watching, of course. Any ideas or any thoughts, always welcome in the comment section, or you can shoot me an email. Thank you very much, and I appreciate it, as always, again. So please take care, and we'll see you in the next video.